time for example 3. Time to step it up one more notch here. Do we have an absolute value by itself on one side? No. All right. So can we easily get there? Sure. We're going to go ahead and subtract the 8 from both sides. Now, once we've done a modification, we start fresh. We go back to the drawing board, back to the beginning, back to both questions. Do I have an absolute value by itself on one side? Yes. Is the other side a non-negative number? No. So because my two requirements are not met, I cannot use the absolute value property. So we're not going to break this up. So we can't break this up into two separate equations. It's not going to work. That's not a method that we can use to solve this problem. You might want to write that down. I'm going to repeat that. Because the absolute value property wasn't met, the requirements weren't met, we cannot break this up into two separate equations. We can't just remove the absolute value bars. So we have to use a different strategy for solving this equation. And the strategy that I'm going to suggest is what I call the common sense approach or the logic approach. And what we're going to do instead of trying to solve this by breaking it up into two separate equations is I'm going to look at the left-hand side and I'm going to say, I don't care what x is. I'm taking the absolute value of something. Once I take the absolute value, it's going to basically be a positive number. Now, yes, to be technical, it's non-negative because I could get 0 and I take the absolute value. But for the sake of this particular problem, that's not going to matter. Let's just call it a positive number. So that left-hand side is going to end up being a positive number because I took the absolute value of something. The right-hand side is -7. It's a negative number. And these two things are supposed to be equal. When will a positive number equal a negative number? Never. A positive number will never equal a negative number. Therefore, we have no solution to this equation. This equation will never be true. And that's all we've got to write then is no solution.